ever, and a fantastic anime mousepad. Gotta say, very jealous.
How do I get one of those?
You know, we've come to the wrong job. We should be up there. We need to go up there on the stage next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Luckily we don't have to. Here we go. Already into the drop, into the picks, and we get a bit of a twist here. IO has slipped through for the first game this series.
Okay.
We got to get right in this drop, break things down. It is Mineski trailing 2-1. For those of you just tuning in at home, on Twitch, wherever you're watching, or here in the audience, if you've just shown up, shame on you, but we have yet to see an IO.
Here.
Yeah, at least you're here. You've done well enough.
Yeah. Okay, so the Wisp, I guess it's just going to be Wisp Gyrocopter, probably. And for Mineski, they knowingly did this. They banned the Centaur instead of the Wisp, so again, sort of this give them a hero and see if we can deal with it situation. Well, and they are preempting the counter pick as they go for the Morphling. I don't know if this is 100% a counter pick, but it is nice to have against the Gyrocopter.
And it may deter them as well, and it's definitely going to be nice regardless, and instead they go for a different hero. IO Luna, I believe OG ran this and won with it earlier in the tournament. This is a nice alternative to the Gyrocopter, especially when you see this Morphling on the other side, because you're just not giving away the flak to Morphling, who absolutely loves having a gyro on the enemy.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be play fast, win fast kind of a situation, I think, for MGB. Maybe even baiting out the Morphling a little bit. So much of Morphling's sort of early to mid-game strength before he gets his items online just comes from the morph. So if he doesn't really have any useful targets to morph for big abilities, then the hero kind of looks a little bit underwhelming. And so far, you don't want to morph into Wisp or Luna on the enemy team, really. I don't think it's super useful. Luna's just going to make you fairly squishy. Lucent Beam is not really worth having in a team fight, or it's not particularly inspiring. So that might be what MGB are looking to do here. They've kind of dragged out this Morphling pick a little bit, though Mineski do already have the Elder Titan. They've already got some D-push on the board, so if MGB try and go for this complete all-in, then they do have some ways to deal with it.
Yeah. They are banning some of the other heroes that are good against the IO, like the Winter Wyvern. Having Winter's Curse just to put on top of an IO normally means whoever he's tethered to is then going to kill the IO for you. So gets the job done that way, and also is some extra D-push as well as the Elder Titan, so it kind of pushes away them from going for something to stop that, potential all-in kind of style of push strat.
Yeah, and Mineski aren't banning as if it's going to be, as if they're worried about an all-in 5-man strategy either, right? If you're worried about an all-in 5-man strat, you're not banning this OD, you're probably not banning the Sand King necessarily. Sure, he's good in a push strat kind of, but not an amazing pushing hero or anything. So it does seem like MGB, they still got options. There's no 100% guarantee that this Luna indicates that they're going to be going for some kind of weird 5-man setup. And we don't even know if the Luna is necessarily going to be playing with the Wisp. It is a good combination. The extra attack speed, move speed, makes the Luna pretty formidable and utilizes the Ag's talent as well pretty nicely. That Eclipse can just be ridiculous.
But you can get that in the mid-game even without them laning together. Traditional IOs were always off-lane, IO plus Bristle, IO plus Legion Commander, all these heroes that benefited a lot from the laning presence of IO, although that part of the IO has been nerfed a lot, so...
Yeah, especially the tether multiplier, right? It used to be the same, it used to be same multiplier at all levels on the HP and mana regen, and now you actually have to get points in the ability to level up that aspect a little bit more. So he's not as good at saving people, and he's not as good at sort of sharing all of that regen in lane.
Well, Mineski really using up a bit of their reserve time here, and they're going to go for a Lich.
Okay.
That's probably the Morphling partner in lane, a good support just to secure his lane, and very quick response. Axe picked up. IO Axe could be a strong lane, or could just be IO with Luna and Axe, doing that creep cutting stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And the other nice thing about the Axe is that they might just be able to leave him alone, right? He can just go and do his own thing, cut the creep waves a little bit. Mineski do have ways to me, the interesting thing about, with the Axe cutting the creep wave, the important thing is always, you need to have enough damage to be able to kill him, and then you need to make sure that you have interrupts for the TP as well. If you don't have those two things, then there's just no way to stop Axe cutting your creep wave. But they do have it, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it's not... Ooh. Okay, there we go. Get another Enigma out. KP special. Enigma.
Saw that refresher orb play the other day. I mean, the game was pretty over at that point, but he missed the black hole on the Slark, pops the refresher orb, blinks again, second black hole does it.
Rubik in response. Here we go.
Oh, please.
Everyone bringing out the big guns.
Okay, so it's Relatively, I would say it's a weak support duo on MGB. I don't like
Yes.
Wisp plus Rubik as a support duo. It's not a whole lot of damage. They don't really have a whole lot of ganking potential in the early stages of the game. They are going to have the Lunar Blessing, which helps out a little bit if they are laning with the Luna. But I also don't know if they want to be down there 100% with the Luna because the Enigma is there. And Luna wants all of that experience. She's already getting denied. If they're splitting that 3 ways, then they're going to be in trouble.
They could maybe even aggro with the Luna, do like aggro tri-lane potentially. Axe can actually lane okay 1v1 against Enigma since he can deal with the Eidolons. We'll get denied a bit, but that's a possibility. Not that IO tri-lane sounds amazing, but just having the Lunar Blessing giving bonus damage to both Rubik and IO, who are range right clickers, might make it doable.
It is difficult, I think, to tri-lane into the Lich ET, though. Morphling's not particularly amazing in a tri-lane versus tri-lane, but ET and Lich are both really good tri-lane versus tri-laneers, especially with the new Frost Shield, right? Somebody gets gone on, you put the shield on them, you're getting damage on all 3 heroes. They're going to have to be careful if MGB decide to go for that. And now we come down to the pointy end of the draft, the most important part, these mid-lane matchups. We've been seeing some, we've been seeing a lot of Kunkka. It's still open here if either team wanted to go for it. And a lot of other, a lot of it has been about the Kunkka and then countering the Kunkka, but also we've seen 430 go absolutely crazy when he gets his late Leshrac pick. That's been fantastic for them if it's a good matchup. They don't have the last overall pick here, though, so Mineski with a little bit of an upper hand.
I think MGB do have damage problems. The support duo doesn't have any damage output. Axe doesn't either. He relies on teammates, so it's really just Luna. And as far as right clicks goes, Luna's not scary until there's several big items there. Eclipse is always going to be a good damage dealer, but you can't have that be your only source of kill potential. So I feel like they need the Invokers, the Embers, whatever it may be, something that's just a bit more explosive. Kunkka, could work again. I think that's a hero that does dish out enough damage as they're going to actually ban it out, so maybe they have something else in mind.
I feel like Kunkka has kind of become the new DK in a way. I don't know if you would agree with that sentiment. It's kind of you put it into any draft, he goes mid, he seems to get enough farm to do his job in almost any matchup, and
even win some matchups that it deters you from picking some of those heroes. Like you used to not want to pick Puck into DK. I feel like some of these squishy heroes like Lina, you just don't want to play into Kunkka so much. Which is maybe what MGB are thinking. Like they're going to be picking something that gets countered a bit by a Kunkka here, and
I think they do need to diversify their damage, though. Because what are they going to do if the Luna gets Black Hole, right?
For sure.
There's just no real counterplay. Maybe Rubik, in the absolute best case scenario, he steals the Black Hole, he blinks in, he cancels it, they get the Eclipse off, but it's just not reliable. And I think they need damage coming from somewhere else, so I like the Leshrac pick, but Mineski have the counterpick possibility here, so they're going to get whatever matchup they want.
Do they go back for that TA that's worked for them at times, I wonder? That's, to me, one of the more commonly used
hard to play
ones.
against Axe, though.
Yeah, and even Leshrac has ways to burn through your refraction. Once level 6 and Diabolic Edict comes into play, so it's not like an obvious counterpick, even though the laning stage should go pretty well. What will they want to go for? I think fast pace here. You've got a big long cooldown on Enigma's Black Hole. You've got to carry in the Morphling who's going to be, you're going to be playing with like 4 heroes doing stuff while Morphling farms. So this hero needs to not be too cooldown dependent. Maybe they want something like the DK here.
Maybe, or like a Quaswex Invoker? No, okay.
DK?
Just the Dragon Knight coming in. He's got good sustain. They'll be able to move around and fight a little bit early on, be ready to sort of participate. And it gives them that I've been looking at this ever since we've seen the Enigma, and ever since we saw that PG Barracks game. I think we need to always think about the idea of like, if you have the right kind of draft, and I think Mineski do, there can always be that lightning in a bottle moment of just like, oh, they win a team fight, take tier 2, start threatening high ground. The Enigma and the Dragon Knight are certainly heroes that open up that possibility. So MGB are gonna, they have to be a little bit careful.
This feels like the kind of draft Mineski were winning games in 20 minutes with early on in this tournament, like you say, you win a fight, towers go down. DK ultimate, Enigma Helm of the Dominator early on. Towers will crumble if Newbee.MBG don't come online quickly. And with these supports, with Axe being kind of reliant on a blink timing, they may just lose a bunch of towers before that blink even comes online.
Yeah, and it's a 5 Rubik as well. Like,
that's
Protoss playing it, so
it may be a comfort thing where CatU is just the IO player, so we may see more farm priority on Rubik, but
I mean, Protoss certainly has the cosmetics to back it up, but we'll see how how it works out in-game. I don't know if they're going to be swapping priority a little bit. We'll see once they pick up the initial couple of items in terms of who's buying wards. Do we start with like a bottle rush on the Wisp, or is Rubik getting boots? We'll sort of lay the groundwork for the rest of the game.
So you're leaning a bit more towards Mineski's draft here still then?
I like Mineski's draft a little bit more. I worry about this support duo. I do like the 430 Leshrac, but I feel like their lineup is just a little bit, other than the axe, it looks a little bit squishy overall. And if the Luna or the Lesh dies at the beginning of the fight, I just don't think they have the damage to carry on after that point.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. Particularly the Leshrac, who kind of has the front line, so you always expose yourself when you're playing this hero. And there's an IO tether, but it could be hard. We're about to get into game number 4, Melbourne. It's time. Mineski versus Newbee. Mr. Game Boy. Let's hear for these two teams. It could be our last game of the tournament. Mineski are hoping it's not, and I imagine a lot of the fans here are hoping we get ourselves a game 5. If you're a fan of Dota, you definitely want to see at least one more game after this, but we'll see if that's going to be the case.
And of course, cheering for our Oz Dota boy here on the Mineski side, KP on his Enigma. Definitely looking forward to maybe seeing some big black holes this game. Maybe some black holes coming from the MGB side as well, if Protoss can get his hands on that. And Moon, once again, doesn't have the ward. Looks like he's going to come and play around a little bit at mid. They've already got an obs down, so they know he's not up to anything. And Mineski looks like they just want to secure 2 bounty runes, perhaps. 4 heroes running up towards the top side.
Very early sentry placed in the trees. Is that blocking the camp?
Yes.
Oh, wait, okay. I feel like that's normally a side pull the Radiant side often looks to use, but I guess worried that it's going to be maybe an axe or something up there?
They're blocking out even more camps. Small camp also blocked.
So they were maybe expecting axe to be up there to fight the Enigma? Is that to me is why they would do something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it might be because they're planning on leaving the Enigma alone up here, and they don't want to just give them the opportunity. So every time KP pulls the wave back, the Cat can't just sit here and run pulls and get experience. Yeah. So long as this is blocked, then the lane equilibrium is constantly going to pull towards the tower.
Yeah, the pulls are how you do bring it back. That makes sense.
Yeah. And a lot of punching coming in here from Febby. Actually, so much damage for this Luna.
Yep.
I mean, they do have a lot of regen on Cat but still, Mineski coming out of the gate strong. JT, no big surprise here. Just skilling up the Morph skilling up the Attribute Shift at level 1. He's going to be going for a double Wraithband. And yeah, as you can see, they're not going to be helping KP any further. They've given him the 2 wards. They've put some damage down at the beginning of the game. Now they're here to play with JT. They're going to secure his game.
It just feels very calculated and planned. It's great to see Mineski so prepared for this game 4 with this draft. They know exactly how they want to set the Enigma up for success, then also set the Morphling for success. They immediately, bring the trailing down here because Morphling's the hero that's going to theoretically carry this game for them. And Arwen already thinking, crap, I've got 2 supports to deal with. I thought they were up top. What happened? He's pulling waves, but he may just be in some trouble here.
Yeah, Protoss trying to come over and help out a little bit, but this Axe is not a healthy man.
He's trying to make sure he keeps drawing this creep aggro, but if he's not careful, he could still go down here.
They're still on the run.
Is he going to put the Frost Armor on? There's the slow kicking in now. There's that bonus damage here, and I think Arwen may just die. He has messed with the creep equilibrium a bit. First blood, Febby picks it up. Very nicely done. All that bonus damage and movement speed from the Astral Spirit.
So we do have, well, how's the mid lane going? We've got 4-1 against 4-1. Pretty even. Don't think it's going to be super interesting. Top lane, they were kind of running at KP a little bit, and Catyu comes in here. The AoE on these sentries is huge. You can cover the entire spawn box, and he will be able to find it now. So he's going to have a pull available from minute 2, but no connection available either, so that single pull isn't really going to do him a whole lot of good.
If KP wants, he could even send an Eidolon over and try and block it. That's the other play he could still make. But
100%.
We'll see if there's any need to do so. It looks like he's actually trying to, but Io was blocking him from doing so.
Yeah. Okay, so they get the small camp back. Yeah. Protoss still just chilling down here at bottom, not getting a ton of experience. JT pretty much finding free farm so far. This is definitely the Mineski game plan. Axe pulling the wave earlier has had the expected result. They've doubled up the wave. It's pushing under the tower now, but Mineski's still going to try and force them back. Don't want to give Axe this experience for free. Protoss comes in here with the Fade Bolt. wants to fight a little bit, but...
I think also, like, you know, with that big wave under the tower, Morphling's going to contest every last hit, so even just reducing his damage is going to make sure that Yax gets as many of those last hits as possible. Morphling free farming away, though. 16 last hits, 6 denies already. JT has not really been punished in the slightest, and well, you can't punish him. He's got an incredible support duo with Lich ET, and it's a Rubik down here with the Axe. That's just not a scary lane at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing the occasional Fade Bolt and doing a little bit of damage, but not really amounting to too much. Bit of a miscommunication there for Mineski, it looked like.
Mid lane has a bit of damage going down. Oh, no, it looks fine. Electric got pretty low.
Just a Breathe Fire coming through. Don't think there'll be anything happening there for another couple of levels. And top lane, not very interesting either.
No.
Enigma's just jungling, so
yeah,
already action down here.
Already feeling like he can get dove underneath his tower if he's doing too much in lane. So KP playing it safe. Yeah. And why not? I mean, you see, they're probably just feeling like, you know, we're getting CS and farm in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, they're winning all 3 lanes at the moment, it feels like.
I mean, some of that Enigma CS may be a little bit inflated because it is neutrals, and Luna is kind of free farming the lane, but for the most part, yeah. Bottom lane's being one, I'd say mid and top, a bit more of a wash.
Yeah. How's the Wisp doing? So still hasn't tried to utilize this pull. I think he's going to try and stack it first. Also wants to, he's trying to decide, do I stack it or do I go and try and find the D-ward on the big camp and go for the connection? He's just going to decide to go for the stack at the end of the day, and now he's going to go looking for this other sentry ward.
Maybe if he got an insta tango there, he could have
managed both, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
has to dig around the trees. So
a little bit of a contest for the power rune. Protoss is going to be the one to pick up the DD, but he's got no health and no mana, so looks like he's just running himself away here, even TPing all the way back to the fountain.
Might see a bit of a fight over these 5-minute bounty runes. That seems like where the next small little skirmish could happen, but just this Axe who's getting a bit too aggressive and.
I'm hoping for a few more spins, some damage on the Febby. JT does come over here. He wants to secure this kill, makes the rotation worth his while as he finishes it off with the adaptive strike.
Yeah, definitely worth it, but does miss probably
like
a couple
one
CS, one maybe only.
Yeah, it's not under the tower, so pretty nice. And JT right back to controlling the wave.
Yeah, does chew through his whole mana pool is probably the bigger thing. That's was over 200 mana used for that kill, so suddenly next time Axe comes to lane, some of that kill threat is gone.
Yeah, but what is Rubik doing at the moment? Rubik's just stacking Ancients.
Okay.
It seems like MGB very much just content to kind of rely on the Luna's farm this game. They're going to grab a couple of bounties. They're actually going to get all 4 bounties.
Some teams really love to rotate their mid for these 5-minute runes, and 430 showing he's one of those players because his move down bottom is what scared off Mineski from getting those bounty runes.
And Moon doesn't have the level 6 just yet, so it won't be able to threaten the mid tower too much. Wave does get glyphed just to make this a little bit more annoying for the Axe to try and clear. What are they actually going to be able to do? It's only Febby down here, and they're bringing some more backup. Actually, plenty of Dire heroes in the area. Katyu making perhaps a somewhat unexpected rotation down here. Febby needing to be careful. They've got the lift back. Febby's still running. He's pretty fast. Can they finish this kill? They've got the Frost Shield. Looking to turn it around now. Bit of damage on the Katyu, and he will be able to start healing up. But it's actually trouble for Protoss, who's just going to get waved on. JT finishes that kill, and now Katyu needs a tether. He doesn't have the move speed to get out of here himself. But Febby's still chasing, and that's going to be a double kill for JT. MGB thought that they could come here and just sit and cut the wave, but they couldn't be more wrong, and they're also going to lose the Wisp.
Oh, JT, what a great stop for him. Has the clarity as well to kind of refill, and that is the dream start for a Morphling. Yeah. Luna is still free farming on the other side of the map, but you're going to imagine when you see yourself up 5 kills to nothing with Newbee bringing all those supports down bottom, it does feel like a lot of momentum going Mineski's way.
100%. And again, we're just not seeing anything out of these MGB supports. They're trying, right? They tried to make a play there. 430 in a little bit of trouble here over at mid. Moon's just so tanky. He's got the double bracer. He doesn't care at all about the Pulse Nova. One more auto attack's going to do it. Yep. Breathe Fire. Moon does snipe that kill. Yep. And Pi and Febby just completely outclassing the MGB
Wrap
supports
around top
here.
Though.
Yeah, they want KP. They get the lift up. They'll be able to bring him down. He's only level 5, doesn't have the black hole available. Just running back through the Midnight Pulse. Gets caught once again by the beam. They do have a TP coming in from the Dragon Knight. Got the Dragon Tail. Moon looking for this kill onto the Rubik. They do have an Eclipse, looking to turn it around. Febby actually soaking a bunch of those beams. Moon wants to continue fighting. Katyu is salving up the Luna, but they cancel it with the Frost Shield. Febby committing hard for this kill. Can they even bring down Febby? One more auto attack will do it. Sinister Gaze a little bit too late from Pi, and Katyu gets the tether away, but now they know where Protoss is. Moon's going to keep on chasing him. He's waiting for this enchanted mango to come out of his backpack. Don't know if he even needs it. One more auto attack will do it, and that's Moon finding a triple kill this time around.
You want a triple kill, JT? Here you go. Moon, you get one too. Both the mid and the carry play from Mineski off to a hot start here. 4-0 Dragon Knight already. He was winning the mid lane in terms of CS regardless, and this is, dream case laning stage for Mineski. And I kind of felt like Leshrac mid maybe would have some kill potential when level 6 comes in, but the problem is these new braces, by the time you're level 6 on Lesh, double bracer on DK, extra health, extra magic resistance, and he's just unkillable, and you can't even pressure him whatsoever.
He's got 1500 HP, and that's even without treads so far. So he's going to be insanely difficult to deal with this game. It could just be one of these games where the Dragon Knight feels nigh on unkillable, right? If he really wants to, he could even consider going for a hood. 430 is rotating up here. They're going to spot Febby. Can they find the lockdown? They do get the stun. Frost Shield helping him out a little bit, but there's still mostly magical damage coming in. 430 just running over towards Pi instead. Pops the double damage. Now going to start looking towards Febby. Moon being surrounded. Febby with the stick charges keeps himself alive. They're going to focus on Moon. That's the bigger kill here. Lucent Beam coming off cooldown soon. Catyu trying for the body blocks. They won't even need it. 430. These rotations on the Lesh have been so nice. And he fires back, finding a double kill.
430, this entire series has just been such an active mid player. It's really a throwback to watching his early TI2 days where it's this roaming mid style, and he's bringing it back every single game. He's playing these heroes, whether it's a Lesh or whatever else, he's just active. He's moving from mid lane to bottom, back to top. Whenever there's bounty runes, he's there with his team to fight them. He's TP rotating. And he's salvaging what was a pretty rough start for Newbee Mr. Game Boy here by getting those kills up top. Yeah. There's still a big morphling problem, but at least you're addressing some of the issues going on.
Yeah, and they managed to take out that tier 1 tower, so getting a little bit of that gold disadvantage back. Luden's just going for a Mask of Madness this game, so a nice farming item to have. Just accelerating things a little bit along with the Wisp. KP is going for a Midas this game. It probably felt like the early game went well enough that they can just sort of sit back, rest on their laurels somewhat, and start playing towards the late game. Oh, and 430 comes running into a tough situation, but they have enough to keep him alive. Protoss is coming around the corner. They get the lift back on the DK. Looks like 430 should be fine. And they're going to chase now and look for Protoss instead. Mid-tower getting pushed by KP all the while. And that is going to be his sub 10-minute Midas picked up. They're still chasing for this Rubik kill. Protoss juking and jiving, but he's 100% dead.
Yeah. It was a small little Lich kill up the top lane from the Luna. Nothing too significant.
Oh, JT, he got the bounty.
Yep.
And now he's morphing over into the Axe.
Oh, gets the battle hunger. That's going to slow him down and do some good damage here.
Yeah,
JT turns around himself and...
They need some help. They're going to TP in the Luna into a pretty good position. He pops the Eclipse, but Febby gets the stomp out. Febby opens up the space.
He's out of there, and going back into the Morphling, who's turned into the Axe. He's going to go wave himself forward. Once again, another Battle Hunger out with the DK rotating in with a stun. They should be able to bring down the Rubik. Protoss with the IO Spirit Slow may actually survive, and instead it's Febby going down. They didn't actually kill off the Rubik there, and Moon's in some trouble. He dodges the Split Earth, but I don't think that's going to save his life here. He's still trapped in the trees, brought down, looking for the kill.
He was hoping.
Yeah, he's like, are you still there, Rubik? Anybody? No? Okay. Well,
all right. Well, nice turnaround from MGB. They bring everybody bottom, so KP is still farming in the meantime, but good rotation, picked up the Febby kill. Moon's still looking very difficult to kill, but at least they managed to bring him down once again, so seems like they do have enough damage. And I'm gonna just go for this tier 1 tower push now. JT, all right, with a little bit of strength, just wants to hold the tower as long as he possibly can. KP just up to his old tricks, pushing the lane, has gone for some Tranquil Boots on the Enigma, so nice and speedy. What do we have? Owen running up here. I don't think he's actually looking for the Enigma, more just wants to push out the lane and grab a little bit more farm towards the Blink. They are actually relocating in though. Hold that thought, KP in some trouble. A couple more auto attacks coming through. They've got the Spirit Slowdown. KP nowhere to go. He's got the Black Hole, but it's not going to help him. And easy kill for Axe.
Yeah, finding these relocate ganks already before they have the blinks up. They are going to punish Catyu down bottom, but he did not bring back the Luna with him. I think he understood it was probably not the right call to do so. And if Mineski can get this tier 1 tower, they won't feel so bad about losing their Enigma in the top lane. Yeah. Right now for Newbee, they really want to get this Axe blink up because that's when they can actually start taking advantage of having relocate. He goes around, blink call, relocate follow-up, easy kills on any hero you can find.
Yeah. He's not even bothering with the Vanguard this game.
Yeah.
Just getting straight into that blink as quickly as possible.
He had such a slow start. If he went Vanguard, that blink would take way too long to come up. He is going to be very squishy when he gets the blink, but because of the synergy with the IO relocate, it's definitely the way to go.
JT is just going to keep on pushing bottom. Febby is sitting here, kind of babysitting him just in case anything too interesting happens down here. The Luna is going to come TPing in. They should know that the Wisp isn't too far behind. They've just been playing together, Katyu and Gia pretty much the entire time. And we saw 430 with a bunch of Invis runes this series. Though this time around it is Pylai stalking him as the Lich. Doesn't have a whole lot of duration left, but they've got a Sentry Ward pop down. They spot him, and now 430 with the Yules. He's still going to get the punish. Pylai will get dropped.
Well,
no trouble for him.
More.
Gets the Dragon Tail out, but he might still get called. He's being slowed down. Owen chasing. Is this going to be enough of a counter initiation from Febby? It's not. The Stomp comes in, but the Eclipse damage is still there, and Protoss actually finds himself a double kill.
Yeah, they make sure they get the kill using that Eclipse. Maybe not necessary, but definitely a scenario where it's kind of better safe than sorry when you had this slower start and you're starting to pull your way back into this game. We're almost back to even here as Mineski have lost most of their lead just off of a sequence of great rotations from Mr. Game Boy. And some of that gold is in these Midases, which is going to allow Mineski to scale and go late game. But as it stands right now, this is gold spent that doesn't really do anything for you.
No, and it's really enabling MGB to just keep on running, keep on fighting. KP's pretty fast, does not want to die with this Midas coming off cooldown, but I don't think they're going to be able to save him here. KP getting auto attack down, the Luna just everywhere. Protoss doing a little bit of a Yapstor impression, secures that kill.
Yeah, seriously. This Rubik is just loving life with all these kills he's getting.
He's the position 5 player.
Yep.
I mean, a Blink Dagger on this guy eventually, or an Aether Lens or something, could be very impactful. So I don't mind seeing him doing this right now.
It's great to see this relocate being used almost off cooldown.
And now they've just found Febby as well. 430 finds another quick kill.
Looking
even
the
Arcane Rune for 430.
Yeah. 430 with this fast Yule Scepter already working towards the Bloodstone is starting to get some momentum going his way. It really feels like Morphling's now the only one having a good game. For a long time in the early game lane, say DK Enigma were also on track, but now falling behind as they just seem to repeatedly kind of get picked off. Good news is Axe is also having a miserable time. He's not even close to those two core heroes.
Yeah. At least he almost has the blink.
Yes.
So it's been a pretty fast-paced game. We've had 14 kills we've had 24 kills so far in the 14 minutes. So it feels like Axe is a little bit behind, but I think this is still a decent Blink Dagger timing for him. We've also got a Blink Dagger timing over on the Mineski side. And that's what they're smoking around right now. Moon heading forward. Who can they actually find? The Bounty Rune's about to spawn. Katyu wants this one. Can they keep him alive? Yes, they can. He tethers up. They're still going to keep on chasing, however.
That is such a big escape. They get the Bounty Rune and get out with the smoke blink timing. Not finding any kills. Mineski.
Oh, and now it's their turn on MGB to go for the smoke.
Yeah. And the IO relocate is not up yet. It must be coming up soon, I imagine.
Yeah, 26 seconds to go on that one. Bottom lane, JT just going to keep on pushing. He's got his small items so far. Just going to start working his way in towards a Manta. Oh, and KP is sitting on top of this ward. They know where he is. They need to be careful. They have to focus the Enigma down before the black hole can come out. Looking for the blink in. The call, not in range. KP might be able to turn this around. Protoss, can he steal it? He isn't going to use it just yet. They should get the Enigma kill without it. Now they might be able to find JT. Protoss does actually get it, but the Morphling has morphed into the Axe. The Chain Frost is coming through. 430 uses himself. Still staying alive. JT looking to finish the kill. Morphling still has that Axe form to go back into. And now they've relocated in the Luna, but it's just a little bit too late. Katyu does escape, but MGB getting baited a little bit there by their own spell steal.
I think Ruby got a little bit too excited to just use that black hole. He's like, Morphling just waved in, I've got a black hole, and he's the carry, but they can't actually kill him because they use everything to get that initial kill. And as a result, they just overcommit on this Morphling who they can't kill off because he's used his morph. He's basically taking damage in the Axe form. Turns back into a Morphling, he's full health. Mineski looking for more, Arwen on the Axe. We'll get out for now, has got that blink soon, but you've got to hit that instant blink call. You can't afford to miss that initiation because that just meant Newbee had to overcommit that much more to get that kill.
And it's not even like he got the blink penalty or anything. It was a pretty short range blink. I think he could have jumped in front of KP. He might have been trying to catch some Eidolons as well or something just to make it a slightly easier kill.
And I think he also got thrown off because the courier flew right over him. There was probably a moment like, oh, do I ulti this courier or something just for the gold?
Oh, they want Moon. He's a difficult kill. He's quite tanky. 2k HP on this Dragon Knight. Axe
look good.
Needs to be careful. KP doesn't have the black hole. They're focusing onto the DK. We've seen them work him down before, just kind of kiting him around, but MGB, they don't want to actually take this fight. They have no idea where Pylai Dai and JT are on the map. And I think they're going to feel a little bit silly now as these other heroes appear on the other side.
And fair enough, he still had like over 1,000 health and a lot of one charges at the end.
Radiant Scan revealing that this rotation is coming.
Yeah, they're trying to race their way down bottom, but Lightning Storm being thrown on the creeps, so...
Sanjin Yasha Morphling for JT.
Okay.
All right.
Loving that right-click build, and...
Oh, can they find him? He's full agi. They haven't seen him just
they
yet.
Pinged. Seems like they may... I don't know. It was
they don't see anything else.
Yeah, DK on purple was pinging right where they were, so... Maybe just telling Morphling they might be going that direction. Not sure if he actually had the intel or not.
Okay, so KP has enough money for a Blink Dagger now if he wants it. He doesn't have to be the primary initiator at all. That role falls to the Dragon Knight. Moon, not really going to be the big damage dealer this game either, just going for a Blink BKB kind of a build, which is, I don't think, too surprising. He's just the frontliner. And how's this Luna doing? Has also picked up an SNY. A little bit surprised not to see the Manta Style on the Luna. It just synergizes so nicely with the bouncing glaives and whatnot. But Mineski, they're going to try and trade away this bottom tier 1 tower for a Roshan. Though MGB have backed off. They're not actually continuing to pressure.
Towards it, though.
Coming over. Axe is the first one into the engagement, but it's still taking them a little while to get the rest of the heroes here. Awen, what can he find? He's going to jump, and he gets a big call. It's only on one. JT able to keep on fighting. He actually taunts back the Axe. Moon still tanky, but now the Eclipse comes in from the other side. JT's trying to escape. He's morphing strength for dear life. Can they bring down 430? He's Yule's on a sliver of HP, but he does have a regen rune. He gets finished off by the Breathe Fire. Moon with a good position, and they took the Luna back. They don't actually have the Luna anymore for this fight. Protoss getting isolated by the stun. Gets some good nukes out. Awen trying to finish these kills. Gets another taunt. Doesn't have the Culling Blade. He wasted a little bit earlier. It's actually on cooldown as 430 now buys back. They're going to come back into the fight with their full strength. Can they disengage? 430's inside of the pit. Is he trying to finish off the Roshan right now?
I don't know if he can do that by himself with a Luna short.
Oh, this is a bad position. The stomp is going to get dodged. Roshan is the prize for either team. Who finds the initiation?
It's so low. It's not like you can just disengage and reset. When Roche is that low, you have to stay right there. Arwen guesses wrong. He thinks they're in the pit, and that was not the case.
MGB don't have the vision. Mineski have all the information. They jump onto 430 once again. KP waiting. He's got this black hole. He's just looking for the perfect opportunity, waiting for them to group up. Febby's still running interference. The Spirit is scouting.
They're getting so low on the Newbee side, and without vision, I just don't feel like they can really contest it. The Shrine may change that, though.
Oh, they found 430. He was sticking over by the pit, and they burst him. That's a dieback onto this Leshrac. Moon even gives him the tip.
The vision game is just too difficult for a newbie. It does now daytime hits. If it was daytime already, that may have been more manageable for them, but 2 Radiant Wards in great places for that fight meant Mineski had full control of the pit.
There you go. Protoss still hanging around here, but just gets caught out immediately by KP. That's just going to be a bonus kill for Mineski. And
there's still bounty runes down bottom, so even more income going to be going Mineski's way. They get the Aegis, they win the fight, and they inch closer to a potential game 5 here.
Crisp execution from Mineski, good decision making to head into the Roshan pit there when the tier 1 bottom push happened. JT just barely, I think that SNY may have actually saved him in that situation, but just barely tanky enough to survive through the Eclipse.
I think he just got off the Morph Strength before the Eclipse came out too, because he got initiated on with the core, but Morphing Strength meant the Eclipse didn't actually burst him down.
This is a big play as well. Mineski coming over here, looking for the Luna. Can they find it? No way to save her from the black hole. They're also going to deploy the Chain Frost, just make 100% sure of this kill. Can they get Cat U out of here? Does manage to TP, but losing the Luna like that hurts so much, as the gap is just going to open wider and wider between him and the Morphling.
The black hole doesn't seem like a must-have spell when you have an Aegis, but what's happening down bottom, Moon? It's
under the tower?
Yeah, that's
time for the tip to go back the other way. Actually, no, it's Febby tipping Moon. All right.
That's maybe a bit deserved. I think that's one you got to laugh off a little bit, but you're still not happy about him dying by himself at that location.
Right.
Probably just trying to push the limit a bit far, go for 1 extra creep wave. When you've got a blink, you think, oh, I'll get 1 more creep wave, then blink out. TP.
I only need to hit it once because I've got the splash attack now.
Yeah, but not the case. It was getting that tower very low as well, but Mineski, it's not going to hurt them too much. Black Hole's on cooldown. They've still got this Aegis to play around with, and Luna is still in catch-up mode. Hasn't been able to quite keep up with the Morphling in terms of overall farm.
Yeah, JT just has so many kills, right? 6-0 and 6 on the Morphling. Hasn't died at all, and feeling kind of similar to a game that we saw earlier. The Morphling just like no way to respond to it whatsoever. Rubik's running around here with an Invis Rune, trying to do a little bit of scouting. Does need to be careful. There are some sentries. And the big thing for me that Roshan fight is just that Mineski have 2 wards, one up here and one down on the low ground, and MGB have 0. They were not set up for the Roshan at all.
Like, I think the play the Axe makes there, where he just blink calls the Roshan pit and nobody's in there, is honestly not a bad play. It's just a calculated
He just doesn't have the
risk.
information.
Yeah, he has to either take a chance and they contest Roshan, or they give it up. And I think the call was, look, we contest it. If they're in the pit and he hits that call, suddenly it's Mr. Game Boy taking Roshan and evening up this game. So.
I think that's the same thing for Ferrari getting caught out. He's positioning there because he's posturing as if his team is still there. Yeah. He's kind of going for he's bluffing, but Mineski have already seen the entire team rotating back to the shrine, and so they just call his bluff and just kill him instantly. Yeah. But
showing the importance of that vision game. And that's why Mineski, were happy to start Roshan with the Morphling. They got Rosh down to that 10% health willingly because they had the vision advantage. It's often, that is the Radiant advantage in a nutshell. You can control the Rosh pit so much better.
Blink call on the Morphling. He's still got the Aegis. He gets the Morph off as well. He's so damn tanky. Now they're dragging Alwyn towards him, and they push him back with the Adaptive Strike. They're jumping in, looking for a little bit more. The Eclipse is coming through, but it's only really killing off Febby as now Moon jumps into the back lines. They're going to try and focus down the Wisp. Can they do it? Catyu finds a tether away. It's a long distance. Adaptive Strike almost finishing him off, but he is just tanky enough to survive, though Mineski still get what they came for, bringing down that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, the tier 2 comes at a cost, just to support, but MGB maybe not feeling that was too bad of a fight for them, considering DK even popped the BKB. Leshrac getting closer and closer to this Bloodstone. They're going to actually smoke up.
Maybe looking for something.
Yeah, what do they got their eyes on? Bounty runes are coming up in about 40 seconds time, so I think they know if they get a kill or find something here, they can maybe turn it into something more. But Morphling's not a good target to go on. Yeah. He's still got this Aegis for a little bit.
I think if they can just, they've got 2 Observer Wards here, so I think if they can establish a little bit of a high ground situation or something.
Already got 1 ward behind that mid tier 1 tower, so they're pretty well set up in this enemy jungle.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to play around right now. Like, you don't need to be contesting. Roshan's already gone, You've got 10 minutes before that next Roshan, so just play in this bottom side of the map where you can control the vision.
The only natural objective for Mineski right now is the tier 2, and that's the lane that's getting pushed anyway.
Here comes the black hole potential. Oh, Moon was so close to a blink stun.
Yeah, and the Enigma does have his BKB as well, so KP going to be very difficult to cancel that black hole. In theory, we could see some Rubik plays, or maybe Axe if the black hole positioning is a little bit weird. Might be able to blink right on the edge and get a call, but very unlikely since Alwyn has to pretty much be the first one into the fight for MGB.
I'd say Gia's lucky there on the Luna that DK was a little bit too patient. He wanted to wait till the Enigma fully TP'd in when he could have just gone in with the stun. He doesn't know, who's sitting behind the Luna. He assumes Io is, but it really was just Io.
So I got some damage on this tier 2, but not a whole lot.
No, nothing too significant. And KP with this BKB Blink Dagger can do a whole lot more in these team fights. Not even going for the Lincolns to stop the Rubik steal, feeling like, I'll just have a second one, or someone will kill the Rubik. He's a 5-position support. He's not a threat.
Or he has to just walk in to use the black hole. Like, it's not really that frightening. Alwyn is just hiding inside the pit now. He knows that Roshan can't respawn for a little bit. Ooh, Blink against Blink. Does just get himself out. But the vision game continues to be really good for Mineski, and JT going to use that to keep on pushing top. This Morphling is starting to feel like he might be pretty unkillable, and the Satanic on top of that is really going to cement that position.
That's the kind of Axe counter item, because you're worried about getting blown up by like a Blink Axe Call with a Blade Mail, and if you have life still in there, it just seems to give you a solution to at least get a bit more survivability.
Rochas running around here, he doesn't really know what's going on, comes straight into the Scotty Morphling. He does have the Morph, getting a little bit of strength up, but gets brought down. Just a quick pick.
Mineski up 3,000 gold, looking to perhaps force the issue a bit. I don't really think they're looking to go really hard commit to the high ground just yet. They're still eyeing off that next Roshan. And kind of see here the dire side, as much as they have all this great vision down the bottom side of the map, they haven't actually been able to utilize it for any fights. All of these pickoffs are happening in their jungle.
It's just a bit of a farm game for now. The Luna going to be pretty strong when she gets the butterfly, but she's really the only person sort of in the running for MGB. They do have the Lesh with some decent farm, but Ferrari, after a good start, the death and then the dieback really slowing down his game by a lot.
Yeah, his BKB will definitely be nice because the threat in terms of magic damage from like an ET, from even the Morphling adaptive strikes can just chunk away at you. DK stuns really force you into this item, but no time to farm it. They want to go. They smoke up. They want to try and make a push out onto the map. This is kind of the time where you really have to start eyeing off that Roshan pit because it will be respawning fairly soon. So getting vision down and starting to make plays around that area is going to be crucial.
Moon, I think, just looking to break the smoke here.
He
Perhaps
has the ward there too.
Yeah.
He knows if it pops, he can instantly blink away. Sentry, they see the ward.
They see the ward, they're not going to go for it. They jump onto Febby instead. Can they burst him quickly? Moon does get the stun over onto the Leshrac in a bit of a compromising position. Axe in trouble, in comes the black hole. It's been stolen. Protoss, what can he do? He's only caught it onto one, he interrupts it. JT's focusing onto the Rubik, he's got the Axe call. Rubik buys back immediately. Axe is isolated on the high ground. He'll be the next one down, all and dead. 430, still trying to disengage, but he's got the Malefice stun on him, and JT with the wave forward into the Axe call. What can he actually do? The Eclipse doing decent damage. That's the Aghanim's Eclipse coming in, but it's just not doing anything. Moon's still tanking through it all. Febby running forward, 430, what can he actually do? Buys a few more seconds with the Yule Scepter. Luna doing decent damage. JT trying to force his way up onto the high ground, but instead just forced to waveform back defensively, and Mineski actually going to give away that fight at the end of the day.
Yeah, it looked like it started really well because Mineski everyone was staying alive. There was some serious damage issues coming out until that Aghanim's Eclipse, which started to actually chip away at people. Did cost him a Rubik buyback, but Newbee, Mr. Game Boy, keep things pretty tight here as both teams will be looking to kind of reset and reestablish themselves for the next Roshan, and taking this T1 mid tower goes a long way as far as taking back some control of this map.
And after that fight, the Luna taking the #1 spot on net worth.
Yeah.
We have another big item up soon.
She would love that level 18 as well. Having a level 3 Ags Eclipse for a potential Roche fight will make a big, big difference here. And also, 5k gold. Yeah, this is butterfly territory. I think GoDz is just going to go purchase it now.
I don't know if you try and save for a buyback at this point, right? I think they just need to.
It's a big enough high-value item that it should be worth purchasing.
Wisp
Bounty
working
runes
on a locket.
Help things out. Yeah.
Haladai wants his bounty rune, just runs straight into the Axe in a little bit of trouble. Protoss, once he got stolen, shoot the Dragon Tail. Now they've got the sleep and stomp out onto 2. Chainfrost bouncing around. Protoss is the next one to fall. Haladai knew that he had his teammates backing him up, and they find the turnaround, and they're looking for even more. JT onto 430. He's popped everything that he has. He's also using the Shrine. 430 looks like he will be brought down. They also catch the sleep, and JT is godlike. 3 quick picks for Mineski as they now start sizing up this top lane.
That's kind of like the nerves, the fatigue. We've talked a bit about how Mr. Game Boy have played a lot of games in a row today. This is what, like their 8th game or something in a row, and that just feels like a bit of that kind of sloppiness settling in. They just go for it. They were bottom lane. They were playing bottom, getting the bounty runes in. They initiate on a solo Lich with backup. Yeah, they can't see the backup, but you've got to assume Lich isn't just walking in to feed for a bounty rune. And suddenly Mineski's on the high ground as a result of that.
We do have the X respawning soon. 430's also got himself a buyback. They don't have a glyph, and the towers are just dropping quickly. They do get the taunt onto the Morphling. Is it going to be enough damage? Can they bring him down? JT manages to waveform away. Febby might not be quite so lucky. Just juking through the trees away from his team. Wants to drag the fight. Febby gets the stomp. They didn't finish him. Catyu does have the auto attack to bring him down, but that's a buyback from your Leshrac and only the kill onto this Elder Titan.
Yeah. Good disengage coming from Mineski. With the tier 3 tower down, they can go and take those shrines once they find themselves in a safe enough position, but the chase is on. Have they got any detection? Oh! Gets out of there okay, as we will see eyes on Roshan here. Can they actually go for this? There's a black hole. This seems very risky. And yeah, GoDz is like, do I go for this? I don't know if I want to, but yeah, if you start getting Roche too low, you're almost setting it up for Mineski to take it themselves.
They've got good vision, but Moon is scouting. 430.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't have his
teammates behind him. I think they've seen him now.
Okay.
That Sentry Observer combo in the mid lane.
Oh, if they knew where the rest of MGB were, I think they'd try and go for that, but...
Unlike last Roshan, that vision has disappeared, so it's actually a better position for Mr. Gameboy to try and contest this Roche fight.
Definitely learning from their mistakes.
And also, they've left a courier there too, so they're using this to actually scout Roshan a bit. I don't even mind this. Even if it dies, it may just get you some much needed information. It's worth it feeding a bit of gold accidentally to guarantee that you know when your opponents are in that Roshan pit.
Okay. We've got the Satanic now for JT. The problem in the last couple of fights is that he gets gone on. He's forced to morph a bunch of strength and then just waveform away. Hasn't really been able to play very aggressively, but Mineski, we've seen they do have the potential to start the fight on the right foot. It's just going to come down to that vision game. Who gets the scout? Who gets the initiation? We haven't really seen this Moon Shadowblade do too much just yet, but once he finds that proper initiation, that's when Mineski could just win a complete blowout of a fight.
Also, I feel like the Luna Ags Eclipse, that last fight, it was placed on the ground, so it didn't actually follow them when they chase. So I think Gia needs to make sure, place it on yourself and chase, or place
cast
it on the
axe.
Yeah. He blink calls, put it on him. You can't just use it on the ground when your opponents can disengage.
They smoked. I don't know if this was scouted,
Radiant Scan will pop it though. And instantly,
Febby needs to be careful. Does get called. They've got a Glimmer, they've got the Frost Shield. I don't know if that's going to be enough to save him, though. The rest of Mineski being a little bit slow to get over here, but Febby taking so long to kill, he's even going to get the stomp off. He drops the Earth Splitter now. They find the axe up on the high ground. Black Hole coming through onto 2. Too much damage for the Letrak. They will keep the Luna alive. He pops the BKB, but they're focusing onto the Wisp instead. Finally, the Tether comes through, so he can drop the Eclipse, but they're just running at him. They've got the stomp. They've got the right clicks from JT. He's on full agi for this fight. Protoss couldn't steal anything. He's in the trees. He's going to be brought down. Awen does find at least the 1 kill, but it's just highlight die. More than happy to go down here as JT finds himself an Ultra. And Mineski looking like they might be taking us to a game 5.
Yeah, they just completely obliterate them on that team fight. KP recognizing he can go in for that black hole and just isolate the Luna with it. Deletes the Leshrac, who has no buyback, and even with these buybacks on Luna Axe, they can't defend this one. It's going to be looking like 2 lanes of racks, potentially a straight throne here. Probably playing it safe, you know. You're in the grand finals. You so close to a game 5. Take the double lane of racks.
Febby's pinging it.
All right.
And JT's also kind of. Have they made up their mind?
This one, Morphling with full agi pushes very, very fast, and this will very quickly force out those buybacks or a GG call. Something's got to give, and it's going to be the Axe buyback first. They instantly back off. They're not going to get that second lane of racks now, though. They could have maybe threatened top, and yeah, this is actually, I mean, again, it's all about that safety first. You fall back, there's bounty runes you can grab, there's a Roshan, there's so many other objectives on the map you can get that it's okay not to get 2 lanes of racks.
Yeah. I think this would be, they don't want to have the regret of like, oh yeah, we tried to end the game, then they wiped us in their base and took Roshan, and then we lost. So definitely play it nice and safe.
Of a steal here, it doesn't feel like it. Rubik does not have a blink, and
Ages and Cheese. Axe wants to go for it, jumps in, gets the call. I'm sure they're going to relocate in the Luna. No, actually, no Luna coming in. It's just the Wisp so far. Luna's still over on the high ground now, running into the fight, but just couldn't quite connect everybody together, and that's just going to be Mineski picking up the Roshan. No trouble. Cat-Yu does get tethered back over, but I don't know what happened there.
Is there any backup? That looks like it's a little bit too far. It's just a Lich as well.
I think he was just trying to force the BKB, maybe. But.
And Rapier is being queued up. Gia says there's only one answer to this one. We could be seeing one last Hail Mary.
This Morphling is just unstoppable.
They may just have to give up this top racks and play for the late game Rapier plus defend your tier 4s in your bottom lane. I don't think they can defend this against the Aegis. With Axe dead, it's just, it's not feasible. Give this one up and play for your throne.
I don't think there's any way that they can do it. There's only the 1 tier 4 to defend. They might be able to get Axe back up. They do also have a Glyph. So that's the other thing to play for here. Luna desperately farming bottom, just trying to get this Rapier money together. He's getting close, but they're already losing the tier 4s.
Do you sell your trades or something?
Luna going over, buys it now.
Has the money.
Is on the way back, TPing, but the throne already under attack. Can they actually do it here? Luna can't afford to get stomped. They do catch it onto 430.
She needs to get in there soon. Throne's dying.
Yeah, they're losing it. The Glyph is going to come through now. They're going to lose the Rubik on the backlines. Earth Splitter catches the Luna. Do they have the black hole? They do. No opportunity. GoDz still pretty tanky, though. Still surviving. Turns it around now with the BKB. The damage is huge. High's dead. They're looking towards Moon. The Luna. Can she hold it? JT's standing his ground. He's still got the Aegis. He's tanking through the Eclipse.
He's taking a lot of damage, though.
Yep, morphs back into 430. Waiting for him is the stun. That's life number 1 for JT. The Luna might be doing it here. Cat chasing after Febby. They just want to focus on the JT's Morphling instead. Can he find an escape? Instead, he just goes for the 430 kill. But the Luna right clicks are doing so much work. They hold with the Rapier, Parker.
Holy crap, they've got themselves back in this game. It's the full team wipe. They just did not see the Rapier coming.
Show me that damage. 16k damage from the Luna. All right.
Wow. Can they go down mid? Some of these respawn timers are pretty long. Morphling has a buyback. They want to go straight throne. Another Rapier queued up. GoDz says, we're doubling down. One's not enough. I need a second.
All right, checks the rune, hoping for a DD. Doesn't find it, just going to be an Arcane. They're heading down here, and Mineski just have to collect their thoughts. One team fight win, and they're going to take us to a game 5, but...
They have no black hole. Does KP, is he close to a refresher? He can sell his Midas, but if he's buying back, he doesn't need to. He could maybe sell his Midas to get this one.
Frost Shield's there. They've still got the Glyph. They're going to have another Frost Shield before too long. But the racks are melting. JT doesn't want to use the buyback. 35
They're
seconds
going to give up, at least, give up the racks.
Okay.
And it looks like Luna, black hole actually comes back up naturally, so potential... Oh no, he used the refresher. What am I talking about?
Yep.
Okay, he bought it and used it. So KP may want to
KP was ready.
Yeah, I think he thought they were considering going for throne there, but if you commit to the tier 4s, there's no escape at that point. You're all in, either winning the game in that moment or losing it, and I think Newbee say, we can actually back off and play for another team fight.
All right, guys, is this a backup Rapier or is this a double Rapier? What's the...
Let's see the double Rapier. Wishful thinking perhaps, but I think more likely it's just going to be...
Tomes.
He's going to probably hold buyback here.
What's the talent here, do you think? Mini stun or the lifesteal?
Oh, you can go double Rapier with lifesteal, actually. I think with the lifesteal talent, maybe you do go double Rapier. Because then that makes up for, just not having the Mask of Madness a bit.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He's getting close to the money for it. Mineski just playing together as a group. Do we have gems picked up anywhere? I'd imagine that with the map control situation.
Luna, go into the shop. No, Gia, you don't want it?
He's still got buyback.
Yeah, I think, when you say backup Rapier, it might be the case where he wants to have buyback plus this second Rapier.
So long as the Wisp also has buyback, right? There's always the potential for... The fight goes badly, he buys back, assembles the second Rapier.
The issue is the buyback, it's not going to do anything if your throne's under siege because, they're just going to be hitting your throne while you're dead, or if you buy back, they can just kill your throne so fast. DD rune there, that's potentially useful, although no real reason for Mr. Game Boy to leave their base right now. No Roshan up, nothing really to concern yourself with.
Mineski smoke. So this is right on top of a ward. MGB, they know about this.
How are they going to play this one?
They don't have a scan.
They're looking like they may just want to hug their throne.
They're smoking themselves.
Okay. Observer Sentry. They're going to see any kind of Shadow Blade play here.
They're holding the high ground. Mineski wrapping around, taking the slightly longer path.
No sentry up top, though, for the Dire side.
Oh, who's going to be the first one in? This could be the game right here. Luna pokes her nose forward a little bit. They're going to jump on top of Luna. Can they keep her alive? GoDz in so much trouble. Down below half HP to get the BKB out. They got the lift out of the Enigma. JT in some trouble. Jumps in. The Midnight Pulse doing good work. Luna still surviving. Finally brought down. The Rapier's on the deck. Looks like Mineski may have finally done it. KP getting chased down by 430. Buyback now from the Luna. In comes the Eclipse. Can they get this Rapier out of here? JT's running for dear life. Moon has been Yulesed up, but it's actually 430 in some trouble. JT with the double kill. They're going to chase onto the Luna now. Protoss, what can he actually do? He stole the morph in the midst of all of this.
Oh, they're throwing. They've got to address this one. They need to fall back. GoG is close to another Rapier. Still needs a bit more gold. And boy, that looked like they could almost deal with that Enigma when he jumped in and got lifted.
Morphling trying to be careful with the Rapier.
What's the play? Mineski may just disengage and go for Roche, and the issue with that is Luna will farm another Rapier in that time.
They finally finish off this shrine. JT not really caring so much about the axe at this point, just so much damage, so much lifesteal.
Yeah. The blink hole just doesn't really pose a threat to him.
So it was the Morphling that got lifted in that last fight. He's got the Morph target's allies. It wasn't KP getting lifted without BKB popped, but still ended up going down. He's going to have double black hole not too long after he respawns, about a minute wait on that one. And Mineski just trying to figure out how to finish this one cleanly. That's got to be the situation. They're up 23k net worth after that rapier swing. Experience not a whole lot. Dota Plus still liking them a lot, but this was the last time that they pushed the throne.
Yeah, this was when the rapier was on the other side now.
Yeah.
So when Luna picks up another rapier, maybe we'll see a readjustment.
Certainly important. And no reason to save any gold, doesn't have the buyback for a little bit.
Has to find a way to farm this rapier money though, and also get to that shop. There's a Radiant Ward almost camping the secret shop, perhaps knowing that this Luna is going to look for another rapier. That's like the only way Mr. Game Boy can get themselves back in this game, and Mineski are going to protect that secret shop. Deter them, keep them away.
Oh, Courier's
it's
just
going to the other secret shop.
Yeah,
Smart call.
This is what you want to do in this situation. Send it over. 6.1k. Luna's almost got the money. There you go. Rapier number 2. All right. Rapier against Rapier, 430. A little bit outside of the base. Does Rubik finally have an item? No, he's got his Anthem.
It's an item. Yeah,
that's
kind of.
Sure, it counts. 43 minutes in here. Mineski just, I don't know if they're camping for runes. I don't know if they're camping for a Roshan. But at the moment, they're just trying to figure out what their plan is to close this one out. Moon has opted for the Dragon's Blood talent, so not going to be 6-slotted all that quickly. But once he does get there, then this is going to be
I think he's probably feeling like he's happy. You know, he doesn't want to get rid of his Blink Dagger anytime soon. It's just like the magic wand he can really replace right now. His role is much more that of primary initiator than, you know, damage dealer at this stage of the game. You're up 4 racks to 2. You're not lacking damage right now.
Do you think, Mineski, you're talking about some kind of like sneaky way to end this game? They force the glyph, then maybe they have the Morphling try and go in or something? Or do you think they can just win this head on?
I think it's a bit too risky and unnecessary. This game has, that's the kind of discussion I think you have once the game is like out of your hands a bit. Like, yeah, you're up racks, but you just lose like team fight after team fight, and your lineup was peaked early and took racks. Their lineup is fine late game. These heroes, you've got late game Enigma, ET, Morphling. You've got a great late game draft. There's no reason to overcomplicate things. Play around the double black hole. The fact he's now got a Linken's means it's so much harder for Rubik to steal this.
They do have some crazy late game talents to play for as well. Like KP I don't know if we'll see the Eidolons this game. I think there's enough AoE on the MGB side that it's not one of those games where you're going to have just the enormous cloud of Eidolons marching down a lane.
True.
And finishing the game. But also the DK now picking up his 25, so he's got the plus 40 strength. Moon looking very tanky. And it seems like Mineski just playing for those last couple of levels and items that they want here. Even Febi's got a BKB picked up now. Going to be pretty easy for him to wade into the fight and just try and get that natural order down.
He gets another BKB at level 25, right?
Yeah.
Built in.
Oh, wait. Or did that get removed?
Oh, it got removed. Just kidding.
Yeah. That's
old news.
Yeah. We're seeing some carry ET for a little bit there, but all right. MGB. They're outside of their base. They're smoked up. They're looking for something here. They don't have a ton of vision, but they do have this one observer ward over here. They know there's heroes in the neighborhood. Ooh, Alwyn, close, but not going to go for anything. Ferrari still off to the side. He's waiting for the money for this Hex.
Ooh, he's all in as well.
Okay. There's still quite a few buybacks, mostly on the Mineski side.
Vision-wise, Roshan can be maybe contested by this Dire side, having that ward at the Roshan pit, whereas Radiant Vision feeling a bit lackluster now. That secret shop ward not really paying off, didn't find the rapier in any way. Io with all this healing. I feel like,
at what point do you think the Luna can get through backdoor protection?
I mean, surely with Io already, I would say.
Yeah.
But the issue is, it's tier 2. I guess you go for the throne when you say backdoor protection. You're not thinking about getting a second lane of racks. You're also not thinking about contesting Roshan, it seems, because you lost your ward and Mineski have map control. You're playing to defend high ground here. if you're in newbie Mr. Game Boy's shoes, as they're going to not even think twice about this roach going on.
All right, so we got 3 black holes, Refresher and Refresher Shard. We've got the Aegis on Morphling. He's struggling for slots.
Yep.
He's got the S&Y in his backpack. MGB, it's now a 32K net worth deficit. Though the win probability still giving them that 12% chance.
Yep.
I think a lot of that is just held up in this Rapier and held up in the Luna.
This is feeling like a bit more of a grand finals. Triple black holes, 2 rapiers. You know, this is the game we've been waiting for.
We went from those first 2 games where MGB just kind of washed over Mineski looking just fine, and now here we are in game number 4. MGB could still be their series. Just have to find that one team fight. Got to find the right initiation, the right opportunity. Mineski just want this, they want a slow siege bottom, it looks like.
Yeah, get the Mega Creeps isn't GG, but it makes this game so much more difficult for Mr. Game Boy, because even if they win a fight, pushing out it gets that much harder, and you've constantly got to defend those side lanes. That's where those cheeky backdoor plays can come in when you have Mega Creeps.
They call the Morphling. I think he's going to be okay. 430 runs in. He gets the Hex with 2-man stomp. JT going to look for the opportunity here. They've also got the call. The Black Hole coming in. Onto 3. That's only Black Hole number 1 as JT finds the double. And Mineski looking to close out this game right here. Cat U's done. GG's called. It wasn't one huge team fight, but JT making the plays. KP with the celebratory Black Holes. They know that they forced out game number 5. And what a game it was.
We are going the distance. KP says, I don't need 3 black holes. I'll give you 1. And it's 1 big enough to go into game 5. What a showing from Mineski, from both teams. The fact they could actually pull back that game with those rapiers. It looked like newbie Mr. Game Boy might actually be able to squeak out a win, but Mineski say no. And game 5.
Man.
It's great. This is such a perfect way to end this tournament.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't even have anything else to say about that game. Just
beautiful, beautiful Dota. I love you guys too here in the crowd. Australia, you have been fantastic. We have got 1 more game for you. And before we get to that game 5, we will have some more words back from the stage. Slacks, Mish, how do you think about game number 5?